When? Today, tomorrow, next week, next year? Never! A lot of people are starting to ask the question, is my portfolio, are my favorite altcoins, are they ever going to go to the moon? Well, we know Elon went to the moon today. Will your altcoins go to the moon? We're going to talk about that. We'll talk a little bit about Cardano. We'll talk about ICP. BitTensor seeing a really nice rally. I believe it's the top 24 gainer over the last 24 hours. Is AI about to see another big rally? We'll talk about that. We got Magic Internet Money joining us to break down the charts. We'll have him break down the Cardano chart, the ICP chart. We'll look at Bitcoin, and maybe we'll pick another one from the community. Also, Larry Fink continues his tour de crypto as he says everything will be tokenized. You have the world's most financially, the person that's got the most pull financially out here telling everyone everything's coming on chain, it's bullish. And so just remember that the next time you get down in the dumps when you look at your portfolio. And finally, we're going to check in on some of our trades. And Akash Network, I'm hoping we get to it today. They're leaving. They're leaving Cosmos. Where are they going? We're going to talk about that and much, much more. Gina, roll the intro.
Hola! It's Big Rob. I'm here in Las Vegas, live from our studio. And we take old, boring, and stale co-hosts and try to do something with them, but we fail miserably.
Yeah, you failed miserably.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
A lot of volatility in the markets today. Altcoins are all over the place. Some are up, some are down, up, down. It's been a roller coaster, a seesaw of price action. On, well, Bitcoin, we saw this thing take a lot of red candles over the last 24 hours. It was up at almost 16,000. Then down to 110.
It's going down.
And we're at 112. So
the price is going down.
I can't with this, bro.
What, bro? I feel good today. By the way, my boy got me some delicious candy from the fair. Shouldn't have given it to me before the show. You know that sugar hype? That's right, baby. Delicious, by the way. I don't know. The blue one was some sort of flavor watermelon lemonade or something. What'd you say?
They had an entire stand for licorice, and I know you're like a licorice fiend.
And the licorice fiend, bro. Listen, true, authentic Swedish black licorice. You know the Swedish fish? The black ones, the black licorice. The best, my favorite. Oh my God, Sambuca, Pernod.
So sometimes, you know, you get your kid a like Christmas present and it's like really loud noisemaker.
Yeah.
And you know they're having so much fun, but you just regret the idea the whole time.
Yeah.
And you're like, I should not have bought that.
Is that you with the candy?
Yes.
Too late, mofo. Too late. Man, I'm excited today. What a beautiful day to be in crypto. Well, if you're holding BitTensor, it's a beautiful day to be in crypto. Shout out to all the... What's the nickname for the BitTensor community? Do you have one?
No.
I'm trying to think of something on the fly, but I can't.
I see your brain stalling.
It's stalling a lot.
I see it.
The sugar is blocking out the signals in my brain right now. Okay, guys. I said this is going to happen. I said the halving is around the corner. Subnets are picking up. There's a lot of exciting things happening in the BitTensor ecosystem. And, yeah, I mean, this thing, I had to say, I'd have a moment of silence for that long we had. You know, the one that I was targeting 460 and it literally hit 460 and it's seeing a little bit of a retracement here. That would have been a nice $4,000 payday. Thanks, Binance. Thanks, insiders. Thanks a lot. We did get stopped out on the OP trade, but we got into a new one. That's okay. That's why we have stop losses. Tensorians. I don't know if I like that. Anyways, BitTensor, 458. The question then becomes, okay, well, this is the top Tensor twerker. This is the top AI project, okay? Does this mean we're going to see a trickle-down effect into these smaller AI projects? We've already seen some of them run. Sire had a really nice run. It's seeing a little bit of a pullback. Wire had a big run, something we expected a 2x. We're about 50% of the way there. Saw a pullback back down to around 7.2 million market cap, and now it's back up to 10. And so in small subsets, AI is running. But Rob, what do you take away from the BitTensor rally? Do you think this has more to do with the individual project in terms of everything with the halving and the ecosystems growing, or do you think this is a sign that maybe AI is ready to make a another run?
I don't think it's AI in the macro entire sector making a run, because you go down the list, there's, like, look what's up on the 24 hours here. You got BitTensor. Your next AI play is not in the green. That's all that matters. So you have a singular project running, which, where I've stood, and my thesis when it comes to crypto and AI is that there's not going to be a big AI push. Like, I don't see it coming for crypto. I think that AI as a narrative, as far as like all AI projects are going to rally, I don't see it, right? Not in the similar regard to where, like, hey, DeFi is running. There is RWAs are a thing. And then you got perp dexes, their coins. Like, these all tend to run in groups. I just don't think that's going to happen in AI. But BitTensor.
That was my favorite Rob story the last 2 weeks, was when I was making fun of him for not being able to pronounce BitTensor. He kept saying BitTensor. And then this dude turns around and said, I've been bitten, sir. I don't know why that was so funny.
So I think that this one, I think it's, it just shows you that.
You know what you just did, right?
Okay, let me ask you something.
No.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. I am a believer in BitTensor. I am not a believer in AI as a sector. It's no different, hear me out, than being bullish on Chainlink, but not so much on oracles. It's not, I don't, like, if you told me, like, hey man, oracles are going to pump, I'd be like, go screw yourself. It's not. But if you were like, hey, Chainlink's the play. Now, I know Chainlink has expanded way beyond Oracle services. So I'm not, I know this is somewhat of a comparison, but also BitTensor has expanded way beyond the most basic of AI premises, which is large language models. And it's
infrastructure.
Yeah. It's a lot more than just simply just an AI, prompt or something of that nature, or an API, or just simply a virtual, an agent. And so, I think not surprised here. So.
I just want to highlight a text from our friend. I'm not going to dox him, but he's our friend. I knew I should have bought more BitTensor. I was like, should I buy 10 when it was 300? I bought 3 instead. Come on, man. Okay. So Rob doesn't think AI is going to run. I think I agree. I think I agree in a sense that this is what this market cycle has shown, is it doesn't matter if your project is part of a niche or a vertical. Once certain projects in that niche or vertical run, doesn't mean yours is going to run. And we're in the age of actual usage and utility. And so you cannot, if you're a project founder, you can't hide behind the premise of, well, when the restaurant opens, we're going to do this and that and this and that and that. The restaurant's open. The customers are looking for places to eat. And they're just not choosing your restaurant. Maybe your marketing sucks. Maybe your food's terrible. Maybe you got bad reviews. I don't know. But at the end of the day, if you are not bringing the users in because they're here, and you're still on the thing of, well, once we get this done, we're going to do this. And nah, man, you're losing market share every single day that you don't have a product or service that the masses want to use. So with that being said, I want to give a big thank you. Today's show is brought to you by the #1 social casino in the world, Stake.us. I spoke with the team today. We're setting up a private poker tournament. It's going to be fun, exciting. It's free, but the winner is going to get 250 stake cash for free. Only 9 seats available, okay? Obviously, you're going to need a Stake.us account, so just go ahead and set one up now. The link's in the description. And then once we post a day and time, it's first come, first serve. The first people that reach out, you'll get an invite code and you'll be able to join. It'll be on a Sunday more than likely. And we'll play, we'll have some fun, bragging rights, and then, of course, again, the winner will get $250 in free stake cash put into your account. Play some Plinko, maybe hit a 135x. That'd be pretty nice. Anyways, support the channel, Stake.us. Thank you very much for sponsoring today's show. Rob, I'm not going to share this post, but I do want to let you know, Binance, they're going to distribute $300 million to users who were affected by the Friday shenanigans. A lot of people have said this is kind of they're incriminating themselves. Like, when has Binance, and this is what I'm seeing sentiment-wise, when has Binance ever done anything for their users? Because their platform, we have issues, we can't do this, no withdrawals, and they don't really. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think they're riding the ship because they messed up? Or do you think they're doing this out of the goodness of their heart? Or do you take anything from it outside of what it is?
Well, what I take away
300 million is a lot.
What I take away is that historically, when there's been downtime on the exchange, especially during volatile times, it was just kind of, you washed it up as, hey, just part of the game, bro. That's how it is. That's what we've always kind of.
We kind of shrugged it off.
Yeah. And people are tired of it. But why now is my question. I think that people are realizing, in particular these exchanges, particularly Binance, they're realizing that, hey, if we piss off enough people too many damn times, there's going to be a competitor that steps up and comes to the plate and takes our users.
So happy you said that.
And
I'm so happy you said that.
I think that with the news, it was a JP Morgan Chase was going to offer crypto custodial services.
Nope.
Which, was it Citi? Yeah, Citibank.
JP Morgan has said they have no immediate plans for custody, but they are going to offer buying and selling. Yeah. Citi, on the other hand, they're going to launch custody services next year. So I'm so happy you mentioned that. That is such a good point. I'm sorry, Binance, you're no longer competing with Coinbase and OKX and Crypto.com. You're competing with the world's largest banks that people already have money and trust in. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's pretty much it right there. So
that's what you think.
If you piss off your users, eventually they're going to go elsewhere. That's it. Right? And right now, there's a monopoly between Binance and Coinbase. Like, here's the thing. Like, do you want to go down the list of exchanges and then take on risk of an exchange closing or collapsing, a lack of liquidity as well? And so you're almost forced or pigeonholed if you want to have the best advantage against other traders is to be on the largest exchanges. And because there's a lack of deep liquidity in the smaller exchanges, you're stuck there. And so you just have to deal with it, right? And so there hasn't been a big enough competitor out there that can take market share away from Binance like banks. And so, yeah, be very interesting.
Amen to that. And like I said, these are platforms that people are already on, that people already trust. And I'm sorry if they're fed up with your bullshit and they can get better service and better protection with their bank, they're going to do it. And so $300 million is a lot of money. I saw a comment in the chat, well, what's $300 million? What's the percentage of that with, in reference in regard to $19 billion? It's not a lot, but still, that's a lot of money for you to just give out. And so to me, I fully agree with Rob. It's like they're at a point they're like, guys, like, we got to keep these users here. We can't just pull the same BS. And imagine these banks and these large institutions, they come in and they offer exactly what Binance does. And for the people who are just like, hey, man, I just want to buy some coins and just not worry about the thing going down or my limit order's not filling. Here come in the banks. Hey, guys, we got a track record of 200 years. We're backed by the government. We're the 5th largest bank in the world. We got you. So one thing to keep in mind. Also, we're seeing a massive rally. Wire is going bananas, up 220% since 2 days ago. And if you guys remember, this is something I posted on the 7th when it was down here. It was an inverse head and shoulder pattern. We're looking for that breakout. We got an increase in volume. Volume is currently at 1.2 million, about 5x from what it usually trades around, like 125, 200K. It's currently at 1.2 million. This is an OTC play with AI agents. They are a Circle partner. And so expect volatility. The liquidity is very thin. Big moves to the upside, but also potential big moves to the downside. With that being said, we got the Magic Man joining us. It's Tuesday. Magic, welcome back to the show, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm great, man. I'm not gonna lie, Magic. I'm a little disappointed. No. I mean, I love your logo and I love your company and I love you, but I wanted another cool shirt, man.
I know. I have infinite shirts, but I don't at the same time. Laundry day is kind of tough for me. So
fair enough. You know what, Magic? I think what I would like to do is I have a couple of shirts I've seen that I think would look great on you. I would like to get your shirt size and send you some.
Okay.
Okay. We'll talk.
It's a medium. So
you and Rob are alike. That's great. Magic, I would just first like to get your thoughts, and you can feel free to talk over it through a chart or just, not through a chart. But what are your thoughts on what we saw on Friday? How did you maneuver the markets? And with the bounce we're seeing, well, not really a bounce. We saw a bounce back up to 115, 116, Magic. We're back down to 112. Not really a big vote of confidence here. I know I'm throwing a lot of questions your way. What are your thoughts about Friday? How did you maneuver it? And what are your thoughts on what we've seen post-Friday? Does it sway you more one way or the other? Does it sway you more bearish? Does it sway you more bullish? And what are your thoughts?
So it's a pretty neutral bounce, I guess, right now, because we don't have enough information. Because, I mean, after all that move, nothing's really broken yet. That's what's crazy. Yeah. So it is interesting. It does help to actually look at a chart probably here while we're doing this. But in terms of the actual move, which I'm going to toot my own horn here a little bit,
please,
because we were looking at this zone for over a year. I think I've sent you like one of the original times I started mentioning that this could be a top area, and it was back in January of 25. This has been the timeline for it, and it's been good. But you can see we're just filling it out still. Nothing's broken. Even on a monthly time frame is what you really want to pay attention to here. And I would really be looking at this previous month high, and we'll talk about that in a second. But this candle, it hasn't done anything. If you're looking for a short, which I'm in a short at the moment, I took a head short up here because it's the end of the cycle timing wise. And it's in the zone that I've kind of just like picked and said, I think that if, expansion rates remained similar, but still declining, this is where I would look to. I'll take a hedge. Now I've taken that in inverse perpetuals. I'll let everybody know at home. Inverse perpetuals means that in the instance that I'm wrong and I get stopped out of my short, I'm rolled right back into the spot asset. So I'll be right back in Bitcoin, which is what I'm exposed to anyway, because I don't really sell Bitcoin. I just look for hedges in bear markets, so I don't eat as much drawdown. So I still get to incur any upside that comes if I'm wrong. But if I'm right, then, I'll make a little on the way down. So where is important to kind of validate either idea is what you want to pay attention to. So it's not always going to be actionable. What it's going to do is give you confidence if you've taken a position or if you have a thought on where you're going to be. And I think that you have to zoom out even further. And when we start looking at the quarterly chart here, it's really not that bearish. This is a brand new quarterly candle. So if we start seeing stuff back above the quarterly open here, right around 114, you can start saying maybe we can even challenge this high. In terms of downside, you look at how we had failed to close above the quarter one high in quarter two and in quarter three. And here in Q4, we did close above it. So going back below this would kind of give us an idea that maybe weakness is entering the chart on a much higher time frame, and that maybe the 4-year cycle is going to play out like every other time. And even though we all say this time is going to be different, it just wasn't. And so you kind of have to be prepared for that outcome. Have that level on my chart somewhere here. There it is. I believe it's right here, and that's at 108,450. So if you start seeing, you know, like a monthly closure, for instance, or even maybe a weekly closure below 108,450, I think you're going to take this low and you have a bounce zone at about 97.8K. And that's been my line in the sand, if you recall, for this, you know, bull market, as far as once we bounced off of the dual pivot zone from the 6 month and the year. So, you know, just throwing that level up, it looks like this. This is your 6 month pivot for this session, meaning it's good till the end of the year. And as long as we're above this, because it was also the quarterly pivot at the time, things are by and large pretty good. And I think for anyone that uses traditional averages, which are, you know, like EMAs or moving averages, I think your 50 or 55 comes in there too. So pretty close. And it's that psychological $100,000 level. So again, nothing broken, but the moment you start giving up 108,450 on a material, you know, basis, you can see it's been a really nice level of support here on the daily. You know, weakness starts to come in, and I would expect to see this level hit. And if that level is lost, you're looking, in my opinion, all the way down to 82 to 76 at that point. So, you know, it's kind of a stair step. So where we would go in a different direction and potentially say that this is bullish again, and maybe I should shelve those bear market ideas, is going to be back above the previous month high. And so that's where I start to kind of put my invalidation for the idea of any kind of a hedge position. Is above 117,931, and it carries a bit of weight technically, besides just being that previous month high. Like, yeah, we came up here, we made an all-time high, we actually swept all the highs, and then gave up a monthly high, you know, and that looks like this, obviously. So it doesn't look great to have your monthly high this far away, take all the highs, and then come down here and, you know, potentially even bearishly engulf the previous candle. So when we talked about further validations, and this kind of just adds to what we just said here, is that if we lose 108,450 on like a monthly, like the end of October here, you would have engulfed this monthly candle in its entirety. And that's not a good look. That would indicate a pretty good, you know, hey, this is probably the cycle top, or at least we're going to see a very large retracement. But to the upside, your point of control from the last, like, I want to say it's 6 months, is coming in right at this previous month high. You're still within the range, and it's your macro gold pocket. So out on the 4 hour is where I usually look at those. Let's turn on the 6 months. So this is going to go from July through today. And that's going to give us kind of the zone that we're looking at here. If I can get it to load, there we go. TradingView. TradingView has been giving me some issues here lately. Not like the exchanges for some people, but you know, it's just, I know, shots fired. Shots fired. I feel bad because when I went to Twitter, you know, I was like, I'm in a short. So I was in a position where it didn't really bother me too much, but it is one of those things where I understand people, specifically altcoin holders, are the ones that really felt the pain. But, you know, it's your macro gold pocket from your all-time high to this wick low. It's your point of control from the last, we'll call it 4 and some change months. It's that previous month high. Above here, things start to look different. And I'm sure there's a slew of moving averages here as well that would just kind of come into place. So back above here, things look good. Another thing to keep in mind is that as we approach the end of this month, it's going to also be the 60-day end for the bi-monthly, and then you have your quarterly and bi-quarterly. They're all going to be the exact same level because of this large wash. So when you start looking at this average, you really want to be maintaining above it, and it's going to creep up with price if price creeps up. So getting back above here would actually put you back above an incoming average across multiple high time frames, and that would be a pretty good sign of strength. So above about 118, you know, things look different. But until that happens, you know, you just kind of want to be cautious here, because it's not a great look, and the timing of everything is a little sketch. You've got a government shutdown. Things aren't really getting done where they should be, which I think it'll end soon. Just, you know, more uncertainty than I think I would like to be just full on bullish at this point. So I would coin flip it here. You know, I'd protect yourself if I was an investor or a bear.
You know what, Magic? We could all really use a nice tweet from Trump right now. You know, a bullish tweet, not a bearish one. I have my own conspiracies with that, but I'm not going to share that today. Now, Magic, we themed the show around a couple of projects that we've talked about a lot on this channel. A lot of our viewers are big fans, Cardano and ICP. And from a technical standpoint, when you look at a Cardano chart, what are you seeing on ADA? What is, people are waiting for another run back up to all-time highs. Is there one or two very, very important levels that you think Cardano would need to reclaim before people can even think about mentioning a new all-time high?
I'm sure there's a couple. Yeah, this was a pretty nasty move. This is not the right chart at all, or maybe it is. Did I delete everything off of here?
That one's from Binance.
Yeah, well, I got several of them in my shitcoins folder.
Oh, you're not lying. It says literally shitcoins.
yeah, this is the one we usually work off of. Okay, I was like, are we using USDT or USD? This is pretty nasty, man. But before I get into the analysis, what I'm going to tell people is, and this is going to be a little, I wouldn't say insensitive, but it's kind of the cold hard truth that a lot of these projects are illiquid. The order books are very thin. So when you get something like a sell-off on Bitcoin, which wasn't the biggest, it wasn't COVID-like, it wasn't any of those things. The altcoins suffered the way they did because they are speculative and at best you're gambling. So when I say, I know that this has a strong community and these words are probably going to piss some people off, projects like this are gambles and you really should have a very small portion of your portfolio allocated to it. And you should probably never have any leverage allocated to it for reasons like this. But the key level is still 94.5. After the buy up here on this wick, taking out all these lows, you have to get back above 94.5 cents and live there. We've been talking about this level for quite some time since over here, and above there, things do start to look different. It's a very big, drastic, change of behavior. And I start to look at this as, okay, it's going to at least try to challenge into this 133 high. And that's, what is that, 6.5, and we'll call it 33.5. So you're looking at a 40-cent move, which is approximately 50% from that level there. If you're already in it, that's just going to give you the confidence that I should be looking for this area to be tested again. But in terms of can it make a new all-time high, again, the chart's not horrible. It's not great either. You've got a lower high here that's trying to confirm. So key level for that to happen is if something happens here in the next month, and maybe even quarter, where you start giving up that like 60, what is that, 59.4, which is the 2024 open, and it's an old 6-month level. So about 60 cents even, you start closing below here, you will have, your all-time high, you'll have come down, confirmed a low, and then you've just made some macro lower highs, and you're coming back to your base probably somewhere in like the 20 to 30 cent range at that time. If 60 cents is lost on like a material level, and we don't see these things try to run it back and get some strength. So that would be the only caution here. But above 94.5, and we can have a completely different conversation where this looks just like another higher low in a series of higher lows off of the macro low here. We'll call it that for the cycle. And, this is just a really unfortunate event at that time. And the people that were affected by it, unfortunately, I hate to use the term, they put themselves in that position to allow something like that to happen. But if you're using margin or leverage, that is always a risk, no matter what. I was trading when the COVID crash happened on Bitcoin, when it dumped from 9K to 3K overnight. I was in a short, I took profit at the 200-week moving average, which was like 5,500. I had no idea it was going to go below 4. And that's a much bigger asset than these. So, you have to bear that in mind. And there's thousands and thousands and thousands of more altcoins and projects in the market that do take away from each other, essentially making each one a little bit thinner and a little bit more prone to things like this. So whether it was insider trading or manipulation, that has been occurring in markets since the dawn of time, whether it's traditional or crypto. You have to be in a position that if you're going to put money in the market, especially on a margin account, you have to be comfortable putting that, money in a bucket and lighting it on fire in front of your own face and just saying, okay, I would be okay if that happened. And if you're not, take a step back and maybe reevaluate how you're doing things. Spot might be a better play, things like that.
Yeah, you bring up really good points, Magic. And also the point you brought up, and there's thousands of more cryptos. I would also like to throw in there's not a lot of fresh capital, right? Like retail is not here. The fresh capital that is here is going into Bitcoin and ETH via the ETF from Wall Street. So you have an exponential growth in the amount of projects people can choose to invest in. And on top of that, you are not getting at least similar rise in capital flowing into the markets. So there's less money to go around, but more projects to go into. Okay. And then lastly, Magic, ICP, another one where when you look at it from a tech standpoint, it's very impressive what ICP is capable of doing. The point it's at now is those capabilities have to be put to use. And so what are you seeing on the ICP chart, Magic? And I guess same questions asked on ADA. Is there any sort of levels that you have identified as very, very important to reclaim?
Yeah, so this is an original chart, though, because we broke this one down ages ago looking for rejections here off of, this has got to be from over a year ago, because we outlined the rejection and key support here. So, and then I think we had identified, I think it was, 393.8 down to 315. And I tweeted about this as it was reaching that area, because I know that we said that if the rejection got steam, this is where you were looking to. And, the only thing I would say is this was the original zone that I said, if you're going to have stink bids and you want to buy this thing, you can wait for it to come all the way back down here potentially, especially if it loses this box being 755 to 803, then yeah, you're going to see this box down here more than likely. And that's exactly what happened. So now that you're there, you really need to evaluate and say, is it worth me putting any money into this or trying to trade it on a bounce? Levels that I'd want to see reclaimed. I mean, it's got some work to do here. You've taken all the lows, which is not a bad thing necessarily in some cases, but it can always go lower. And I would point to things like Filecoin for that reason. Just because you're establishing a base here doesn't mean it's going to actually do anything. So for me, until this starts getting back above and we're on a monthly chart, I would say $5.58. I really have a very low confidence in this one putting any kind of actual sizable bounce in. And if it does, I think, you're going to be looking at standard things like a gold pocket, and that's just getting you barely back up to back test old support. So, best case scenario for this right now, in my opinion, is going to be that it puts in a bounce here. If you want to be uber aggressive, maybe you call it $4. I'm bullish back again on this one, and you're looking to just see if it'll trade up in between this zone. That would be best case scenario for it. But I'm going to switch over to Filecoin only because, and it's not because I'm trying to bash this thing into the floor, but it's realistic that this can happen to projects like this. And you guys know what Filecoin was. It was a huge hyped up coin. I call it the lovely Christmas tree pattern. And I've been dog shitting on this one for a long time. Right up there with KDA. I've actually made a YouTube video.
No,
yeah. So
you
again,
make a good point. It has a very similar kind of pattern here that you just saw there on ICP.
So just be careful if you're putting money into these. I know the tech is there, and this was, I think, cloud-based or something like that.
Storage.
In this chart, I have not updated this thing in forever, but this was the base I'd outlined when it was like $20-some, because that was back when I was still doing TikTok like every day, making a video on whatever people asked for, and everyone was pumping this one. And I did a private stream on it, then a public, and I said that this thing will probably come down to this base and lose $15 in value, which is a huge dump. You got some pumps here, but it can go lower. That's the thing. We don't realize this can just drift into nothing, and you get these little pumps, and people maybe get excited because they have it, but it's not doing anything. This is going to zero. KDA is a very similar situation. So if you're investing in these, you're gambling. It's not investing.
Okay, Magic.
Yeah, the old KDA.
Magic.
Yeah, he's gonna pull up a Cardano chart. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah. Hold on, but can Gina? Can we put that chart back up there? The Filecoin chart. Filecoin, I literally walked up to the big screen in front of me and I counted. Those are monthly candles, correct?
Yeah.
Out of the last 20 candles, only 5 of them were green. And I'm looking at the chart. It lost that zone, that grayed out zone, and then it got rejected on a retest. So, yeah, that's pretty ugly, dude. And that's on a large time frame. But yeah, please. I know you're going to show Kadena, but
KDA is very similar, and I'm not trying to derail the show and just like highlight bad shit coins, but
I was gonna do this.
There's thousands.
What you're doing? I was about to take that baton after you and beat it down my damn self, because I have little confidence in those two bouncing at least back to last cycle all-time highs. But yeah, go ahead, proceed.
No. I mean, this was one, again, I got asked to make, and I made a YouTube video on it in November of like 2022. And I said it was coming down to 34 to here, and it really nice bounce up to like 198. This is actually like 6x. But you got to remember what Bitcoin was doing in this time frame. And it's really, this thing has done absolutely nothing since then. It's just continued to hammer out this base. And that was all-time lows, by the way, for anyone that's wondering how we got that. It's literally the all-time lows. And it's now making new all-time lows. Just because this has got a nice bounce or buy up or whatever, it doesn't mean anything, as we've seen historically. So for this one, it would have to literally bounce over $2 for this to actually do anything on the chart. So doesn't mean you should trade it because you're like, ooh, it could bounce to $2. I mean, you got to remember what you just said. That's very risky. So just be careful out there, guys, if you're trading some of these tokens. I know that you guys have been sold an idea of what it's going to produce and what it can be, but this isn't the first time that's ever happened. And I'm not just picking on crypto. If you go back to .coms or even just car companies, cell phone companies, there used to be BlackBerries. Some of you guys are probably too young for that, It's wireless networks. Sprint, remember if Sprint had like the walkie-talkie? That technology never really caught on. Lots of things from companies that are, remember they could push the text or whatever.
Nextel. It was Nextel.
Yeah.
My dad had one of those. My dad loved it, bro. He had one of those.
Yeah. He was trying to, so a lot of your portfolio. Go ahead.
He was trying to convince me to get one. He's like, because I used to go on the jobs with him, and he's like, I got to get you one of these phones, son. So that way we can communicate with each other. I was like, Dad, I'm good. Thanks, though. Magic, I appreciate you always keeping it real, man. Your insight is great. You know what the hell you're doing. And so sometimes the truth hurts, man, and that's okay. So we do have Magic's Discord channel pinned to the top of the comment section. Make sure to go join him. And Magic, any parting words before we let you go, my friend? Or was there anything else that you wanted to show? I'm sorry, maybe I kind of...
No, that's it. I guess my parting words will be, when stuff like this happens in trading, I do feel bad for people because it does suck and it does affect people's lives. So at the end of the day, I used to say it all the time on Twitter, is make sure that you unplug, you remember who your family is, who your friends are, go outside, get some sun, do things in real life. This doesn't have to be a make it or break it thing, and just kind of, maybe take a step back. So rely on the people that are been there for your whole life, not just some dude with a JPEG for a profile picture on Twitter. So that's what I'll say.
That's some great advice, Magic. As always, it's a pleasure having you on, brother. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Take care.
I always say you can't ever win a championship without taking some L's. Straight up.
Unless you're Michael Jordan, because he was 6-0 in the finals.
Man, the finals, but yeah, he also took forever to get to the finals, and then it took a while to get there, and then he didn't get there his rookie year.
Who's better, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
I don't know. It's like it's two completely different sports. Did you see the competition?
It's literally basketball.
No, I know it is. I'm just saying that the game has evolved. Like, who's better, Johnny Unitas or
Peyton Manning?
Yeah, it's just like the game has evolved so much that it's not even the same.
Right, fine.
Like, I will say basketball is a lot more comparable now compared to where it was. But like, you look at like Will Chamberlain, like his highlight videos, he was just dunking on little like 5'10" people or 6'1". There's a bunch of white boys just getting dunked on, bro, like all day. And it's just like, it was just unfair. It wasn't the same game. And so anyways, they're both great. LeBron is, one thing I didn't like about him is that he kind of changed the dynamics of how basketball works and the fact that he has to bring every player and form teams and then bully the team into getting this player. And it's just like, just go pick a damn team and go play there, bro.
I'm a diehard Laker fan. I grew up watching Lakers with my dad when Robert Horry and AC Green and Horace Grant and Eddie Jones. Anyways, I can admit and see that LeBron James is a phenomenal player. I do not like watching him play. That's just me personally. I grew up on Kobe. Kobe is my GOAT. I would rank Kobe, MJ, and then LeBron. I do have a poll up. Has nothing to do with crypto, but it's still fun. Okay, do you see Jerome Powell spoke today?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, looks like stealth quantitative tightening is coming to an end. Fed Chair Powell says Fed may stop shrinking balance sheet in months ahead. Bullish. So what they've been doing is they've been letting their bonds, their mortgage-backed securities, once those that are on the Fed's balance sheet, once they expire, they don't buy anymore, they don't renew, they just let it fall off the balance sheet. Essentially, that becomes stealth quantitative tightening. Well, now they're going to stop doing that. Does that mean they're going to start buying? What happens when they start buying? That frees up more capital, and it makes it less incentivized for people to buy government-issued bonds or mortgage-backed securities and drive that money into the equities markets, which, well, we know Bitcoin and crypto live in the equities market, so that could be good moving forward. Donald Trump. Forbes says Trump is now one of the largest Bitcoin investors on the planet, owning an estimated 870 million in Bitcoin. And then we have, I don't want to talk about this. I want you to talk about the altcoins. Rob, what's up? What's down? What's sideways?
All right, let's take a peek. So Bitcoin's over that 113 mark. We started the shows at 12.5, and well, let's see what's up. BitTensor still up 10%. It's sitting around that 460 mark, up from 420 last night. So nice move from BitTensor. Also, you got what's down here? You got synthetics and artificial super intelligence still taking a tumble.
Well, I'm not trying to be funny. I swear to God, I'm not trying to be funny. There's a lot of people saying this is a great opportunity.
To buy this thing?
Yeah.
If you buy this, you are...
Say it.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah, retarded. Yeah, there you go.
That's retarded.
No, it's just... There's always bounces in a project that is coming unwound. And, FTX was a good example. You had the FTT token.
It's still bouncing.
Yeah. But the thing is it keeps going down and to the right? It ultimately is going closer and closer to zero. And there's always some interesting people out there that will buy and hold or whatever. And so it's hard. When we say go to zero, it's not going to actually go to the number zero, but it'll keep getting closer that way.
How could you possibly fade this, man? Like, how could you be a serious crypto investor? How could you be a serious influencer? Can you pull this up? When we have this that just launched. Fetch AI launches Fetch Coder, the AI native coding assistant for the agent economy. How in the world can you be a serious person and fade this announcement?
Fetch was at one point it was a top 20 project.
I was being facetious.
No, I'm just saying that it's just interesting. It was at one point a top 20 project. Now exiting the top 100 here soon.
Not just exiting, the floor just caved and the big hole opened.
Once it loses the 30 cents, it's no stopping it. I mean, you got it's over here hanging around 32 cents. Yeah, that crash hit 30 cents and it's just getting closer and closer to it. You look at this on the 1 year, it's ugly. All time, it's just back to where it was before it really even existed. And
here's a monthly chart in honor of Magic, who always goes to the super high time frames. Well, it's I'm not trying to be funny, but it should see a really strong bounce around 5 cents. Consolidated here before it moved up. Consolidated here before it moved up. And then, well, it almost got there on a wick.
If there's any glimmer of hope for it, then yeah, I guess that would be the spot. But I still wouldn't mess with it, man.
You don't need the risk versus reward?
No. Yesterday I was just kind of peeking through the graveyard of old projects. I went to page 5.
Page 5?
To page 5. You got AI16Z here.
Oh, yeah, that was hot for a minute.
You have Civic. This was a security one that was rallying in 2021.
I bought this on Coinbase.
Yeah. There's Constellation DAG here. This was a little disappointing. I was expecting more out of this one. That's from last cycle as well. Audius here.
Oh my God. Do you remember that thumbnail you made?
So yeah, that was bad. That was bad. You got Pixels.
That was the worst thumbnail I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna find it.
So you got Vine Coin down here. And then you look at page 4, you got Mudang here, GMX, World Mobile Token. You have Casper, Harmony One here. Look at this. This thing is ultimately going to 0. Loopring is here. You also got Engine Coin.
Yeah.
Cody.
These were all, I think, not all, but a lot of them were top 100 coins.
And it just shows you. Here's Cadena here. Rocket Pool. And it's just, this is where they go. This is where the top 100 go when they get no love and they got no community, no new community, right? Just those stupid holders that bought way too high that are just like, it's still the best tech. They're holding on to that Cadena like, it's still the best tech. It's a fast proof of work. They're building. It's dying. It's dead, bro. Let it go. It's done. Call it quits.
First, light a candle for it.
But it's my whole point. My whole point is that like there's Magic Eden here. There's Siren. It just goes on and on and on. It's a graveyard of projects. And so like I tell you, for the love of God,
and I love
save
God.
yourself some money and exit your damn altcoins when they are dying. Don't donate to the dead.
Speaking of graveyard, I found our graveyard of thumbnails.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, this was 4 years ago.
I just started learning Photoshop.
Yeah. I have my bright idea. Hey, put this on the thumbnail text. Why loopring will stay stagnant this cycle? This is probably my favorite worst thumbnail. Like, what is that, bro? What is it? Here is the Audius thumbnail I was mentioning. Not as bad as I mean, it's still pretty bad, but not as bad as I originally thought. But hey, what
about the one where I had the metal brain?
This one?
Yeah. Look at the
that was ICP.
No, that one was bad.
What the hell is this? Bro, what is this? Oh man, which one? This one?
The up and to the left one.
This one. Oh my God. Crypto smart contracts. How smart contracts? What is that, bro? Is that a brain doing a pull-up?
Yeah.
Oh man. How far we've come along, my friends. This was an interesting. This had a lot of views at the time. That MINA protocol thumbnail. Yeah. You can see what we were kind of talking about back in the good old days. This was actually a kind of a cool thumbnail. The click to start Decentraland. So yeah, man. Yeah. Trip down memory lane. Okay. I want to talk about. Let's talk about Sire. Big day tomorrow, big day on Thursday. Vaults are going live. The A vault is coming. Recent market crash showed one thing. We need yield that isn't tied to macro. Amen to that. So if you're a Sire holder, pay attention because you could potentially gain access to this amazing bot. The first AVAL tranche has been increased from 100 to 250K in TVL. So the 3 phases. Phase 1, if you hold at least 25,000 Sire, you get first dibs on the vault. Okay? Capped at 200K TVL, no limit per wallet. Once that's done, phase 2 begins, where if all you need to do is hold 1,000 Sire tokens, your max is 1,000 in USDC. And then phase 3, which everyone I've spoken to, no one thinks it's going to get to phase 3. This is for the public, but it's capped at 250. So everyone believes that 250 is going to fill up fairly fast. Now, the beauty of it is they're planning on launching more vaults. So it's not just one. This has been on testnet. It's going on mainnet on Thursday. Once they gather info, see how it's doing, they're going to be launching more vaults. Each phase will last 8 hours. Starts on the 16th at 1 p.m. UTC. You can familiarize yourself with the testnet if you'd like to do so. The Edge used to belong to a few. AVAL changes that, giving everyone access to the same quant models used by top trading funds. 97% of bettors lose. It's time to join the 3% with Sire. Man, this, yeah, I've been accumulating this. I bought some more on the last dip. I'm in a pretty good spot. This is my number 1 AI agent alt hold. It's like number 4 or 5 in my entire portfolio. I understand it's very risky, but I just believe in this thing, man. I believe in this. I believe in BitTensor. And so, yeah, that's coming Thursday. Expect maybe some people who are maybe sitting at 18,000 Sire tokens are like, shit, I can just spend the 6 or 7 grand, get the other 7,000 tokens so I can be part of that phase 1, or people just trying to get access. And once this vault launches in mainnet and is successful and they launch more, it's only going to drive the value up of each token. And then speaking of the token, 83 cents, 17 million in value. It did get as high as $1.10 as recently as 2 days ago, seeing a nice bounce off this trend line. And so if you've been waiting for an entry, 70, well, depending on if it comes back down today, around between 73 to 75 cents is a level that you want to keep your eye out on for a potential entry, whether that's trading. I don't know if this is listed anywhere. Well, so buying spot. Those are the levels that I'd be keeping my eye out on. And then we have this from Akash Network. They posted this after Friday's debacle. A moment to humble us, define us, and inspire us. Today was hard, the worst single day in crypto. But it's not unfamiliar. They talked about how they went through it already. So this is the 3rd major shakeout for Akash. The last 2 times you came out much bigger. The first order of business is to upgrade the core. Its underlying blockchain, Akash's code base is over 8 years old, built with Cosmos. Talking about Cosmos going through monumental changes that had a massive impact on Akash, some good, some bad. But we incurred a huge technical debt that has prevented us from shipping new features. They went into debt in Web3. Oh, okay. So their roadmap, I'm just going to skip to the part where they're introducing some burn mint equilibrium thing. And then on the bottom here somewhere, I should have had it highlighted. They're migrating. So they got to figure out where they're going, but they're not going to be on Cosmos, from my understanding. Rob, 1, does this make you more or less bullish on Akash? And does it?
I'm hesitant on Akash. I know this thing is also tumbling. This is something that has
gotten destroyed.
It's something that I wrote off myself. I don't know if it's dead. I do comically say, "Oh, this project's dead to me," and I'm putting it to bed. And I don't know if I feel that adamant about it. I'm not sure if it's like no return, but I mean, this thing is almost outside the top 200. This is something that I think was up somewhere around the top 50. I think it was like number 60 or 70 at one point. Maybe it broke the top 50. I don't know. But anyways, I mean, this thing is honestly, it's fallen faster than artificial superintelligence. I mean, it's I think what you're seeing now is these companies, particularly we got 2 AI examples, but you have these blockchains that are just grasping for something, right? They're like drowning and they're just trying to grab something. And so, let's shake it up and move over to another blockchain. I don't know, man. I wouldn't touch it myself personally. I don't want nothing to do with it.
I'm with you on that.
But
I wrote it off. I took my L. I moved on.
It's just so far down there, man. Look,
it's not that it's for me. It's not that it's so far down there. It's just
for me. It's exactly that. It's far down there, bro. Like you used to be important. Let me ask you: is there anything in this range you would buy?
Allow me to
take a look. You got Terra Classic. No,
I'd buy Drift.
Would you buy Drift?
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is.
Very high speculative. It's a perp dex on Solana.
You got MX token, some XC token.
Hell no.
I would rather get this than Akash.
I would rather never use MEXC in my life.
One of the bigger exchanges.
Yeah.
You also got AMP down here, Kusama, Kava.
Remember Turbo?
It's just Turbo. It's all dying projects. These are going to page 3 and 4 as more cryptos come around. So
yeah. All right, that'll do it for the show today. Thank you all very much for tuning in. We appreciate all of you. Big thanks to our community members, our mods, and everyone else in here. If you're not subbed to the channel, make sure to do so. Do you know roll the outro? Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then.
Sin City Crypto. Cash is Cuvée. Yeah. Sin City Crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.